Don't be alarmed, we're Negroes.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's your boy Rodney33, Anime Real Talk TV, and you know who I got with me, my boy Ziploc Gory.
What up, people? Another episode of Game of Thrones and my favorite thus far.
Man, you know what? A man without honor. So let's go in, cause we got too much shit to talk about.
Yeah.
I mean, too much. Now, first off, we go right back to Theon. Now he's just waking up, and he realizes that hey, everybody's gone. What the fuck is going on here?
Yeah, and pretty much he starts scolding his soldiers and whatnot, and particularly one dude, he's like, you let a half-wit and a cripple get away, and then he's pretty much like, they're going back and forth, and then he's pretty much like, the soldier's pretty much like, what about that girl you slept with? She got away too, and then he just starts punching pretty much everybody who starts
Yeah.
pissing him off.
And he's settling in to doing things the iron way, making people pay the iron price for the stuff that he does. And his right hand, or whatever you want to call him, I guess it's his right hand. You guys will correct me, I'm sure, but he seems way more evil and sinister, and much of an influence on how Theon acts, because he's telling him how he should act to be respected. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I thought that was that was a little random. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't expecting Theon to do that, but hey, it is what it is. Now they do find Meister Lewin, and he's not with the group, and he set him. I'm getting that he set himself aside from the group to give them a better chance of getting further. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Knowing that he probably couldn't keep up. And somebody in the comments said, well, in the books, Meister Lewin didn't go with him. So he kind of doesn't. Now that we know in this episode, he kind of chilled back just to let them get ahead. So they kind of put the best of both things in there. Maybe in the book he didn't leave the castle with them, but he actually went some distance with them just to provide them some type of assistance, I should say.
Mhm.
And you can tell that Osha is like, she knows where they're going. She's the brains behind where they're going, and she's developing the strategies, I should say. So she's just about the deciding factor, or the most valuable person in getting them to safety, I should say.
Yes. Good shit.
Also, she knows how to live out in the wilderness and stuff like that. So we those tactics and those skills will come into play as of recently. Yeah, I like that.
Good stuff.
Now we move on to John and Egret, and there's a bit of sexual tension, sexual frustration, hilarious dialogue to a degree, and things. And she says a lot of things that John agrees with, like within himself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, some of the stuff she was saying, I was like, you know what? I probably would have done that. Like, yeah, the nice watch is cool and all, but it's like, yo, I mean, at the end of the day, you really just serving for bullshit. I mean, you ain't getting no pussy, you ain't getting nothing really out of it,
Mhm.
no honor, none of that. It's
Mhm.
just bullshit, really. So it's like the
I,
stuff she was saying, I probably would have went along with it.
yeah, I think he really peeked his head up like when she said, you want to follow the commands of old men. And I was like, fuck, I hate these old guys in the nice watch. Son of a bitch. God, you're right. And dun dun dun, betrayed.
Hmm.
Betrayed in the end. And I thought that was real clever how, even with she threw him off of his game.
Yeah, she did.
And I thought it was very clever on how they camouflage with the backgrounds and stuff. So he's surrounded now, and they didn't kill him straight off jump, so we're gonna see what
No,
happens.
I don't think they're gonna kill John, to be honest with you. And I think the girl's actually kind of falling for him. So I think she probably gonna, pay him back, spare him or something like that.
Yeah, it might be, it might be. And let's not forget about Ghost.
Yeah, I was just
So
about to say that. Ghost.
yeah, that nigga. Yeah,
Yeah.
he that nigga. Now let's go to Tywin. Now he's in the process of hanging the shit out of just random countless people, because he thinks that when his lieutenant got killed that it was an attack on that was meant for him.
Mhm.
So he's paranoid. He's bumping off people left and right, and his man is like, "Hey, you know what? It's ridiculous. Like you just bumping off too many people. This ain't the problem we should doing." And it just shows a little bit of his paranoia,
Mhm.
his battle tactics, I would say, because he think, oh, it's a spy now, miss. We got to flush him out. But this his method is not the most efficient, I should say.
Yeah. And the banter between him and Arya is getting really, really interesting. In my,
Mm,
I'm gonna guess. Of course, I haven't read the books, and somebody can leave. No, don't leave it now. But later on, explain how this happened, because from what I can see, somebody left a comment that this didn't happen in the books. The whole Arya and Tywin thing is not happening in the books. So I'm
hmm,
guessing right now that Tywin probably knows who Arya is. He's just kind of playing with her, just to
hmm.
fuck with her.
I think as time goes on, the process of elimination of who she could be will is gonna become more clear.
Mhm.
I don't think he personally knows now, but I think just from from her the questions he asks her, like, oh, your father was this, and your mother was this, and you know this, he's asking very specific questions, and he's thinking, but also he likes her,
Mhm.
like he really, she reminds him of his daughter,
Right.
you know what I'm
Cersei.
saying?
Mhm.
I thought that was clever, and also he's like, "Well, address me as
Melee.
milord,
Yeah, me lord.
milord,"
Yeah.
and he's like, "My mother told me how to speak proper, proper." I was like, "Oh shit!" Ah, and I was like, man, I'm telling you, that is like the best shit." And she was fucking that mutton up. She was going ham on
Yeah,
that.
he was like, "Be careful though. I like you, but don't fuck with me too much."
Oh man, be careful. I will skin you
Yeah,
alive.
that's some good shit right there. I like that.
And I also like how she was looking at his neck when he was turned around.
Mhm.
She had silverware in her hand, and she could kill him. And I like the fact that she may not be skillful enough to pull off something like that without being noticed and killed herself, but she is mindful of this is the enemy. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like I do admire her. Her. I love her.
Yeah, she's definitely my favorite character on the show. She's great.
Also, Tywin goes into a little bit of backstory about the story of Harrenhal, like the dragons coming down and scorching the castle and stuff like that. And I thought that was interesting. I love it. It just puts a feeling in me when I hear the characters speaking of dragons. Like,
Mhm.
and then to his surprise, Arya knew like the dragons' names, who rode the dragons, and this, that, and the other, and it really threw him off. I think he really does think of the character as something, because he's already kind of doing things, letting Arya get away with things that he wouldn't let nobody else get away with. You know
Right.
what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So, I think. Yeah, I don't know the angle of it. Maybe he thinks he can train her or teach her something. I don't know, but it's very interesting to say the least. I have to say.
Yeah, and he's definitely at the end that he even said it himself. This is my last war, so it's like after this, I'm gonna be remembered for this war. So I
Mm,
think it's also a bit of that too. He's just realizing that of course he's old, he's up there, and he's gonna die pretty soon. So he's
hmm
he wants to leave that legacy behind.
Yeah, and he explained what a legacy was, which we don't have to go into because that's remedial.
Right.
But pretty awesome, pretty awesome. Also Sansa speaks to the Hound. She wants to thank him for saving her life. Something that's admirable. You go up to the person that saved your life, only to then be shitted on. I find it kind of. I find it kind of. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it, but she gets no respect, kind of, on a way that how people speak to her.
Uh-huh.
But everybody knows her position of she's going to be Joffrey's, baby's mama,
Right.
for lack of a better term. So, I find it kind of crazy that she don't get no respect, but whatever. And with Sansa, she's having those post-traumatic stress. She's having flashbacks of when she was getting raped or well, she when she was almost attempted to get raped,
Right.
Got a little bruising down there, little bruising, you know what I'm saying? And she begins to bleed out, and I'm like, "Oh man, that's disgusting."
Yeah, she had her
Nah,
first period or
they,
whatever,
they,
and
they
like,
didn't have maxi pads back then. They didn't have maxi pads back
yeah,
then.
yeah.
Yeah, so soak that thing up. The
That's one
commercial.
thing about this show. They're not afraid to touch on that subject matter. But I think getting back on the Hound, I think he's just saying that. I think he cares for the girl, but I think he's being careful with at what he says to Sansa because Sansa kind of has a big mouth in a way. She can kind of go back and tell Joffrey, or Joffrey can make her tell what what the Hound said. So you know,
Right, yeah, that's a good observation there.
all right.
And Sansa also, after having the period and stuff, it's a mad dash to tell the queen what the business is. And Shay Shay actually comes up on it. They try to flip the mattress, which was kind of smart, but I guess them two, being girls, they couldn't flip that motherfucker fast enough. And Shay Shay runs up on one of the queen's, I don't know, queen's maids or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
or the maidens, and she like, hey, you ain't gonna tell no motherfucking body. Everybody know that Joffrey is nothing short of the Antichrist, so you ain't gonna tell nobody shit. So, but lo and behold, the Hound doing his duty to the king,
Right.
I guess doing his job. I was a little disappointed that that he turned around and told her.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because I would have thought that that would have been something that could have solidified his role as being someone who actually wants to protect her in a way.
Yeah.
But I can see why he did it. That's his job. He gotta do what it do.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Just protecting itself.
Yeah. And Cersei and Cersei and Sansa's conversation was even more interesting because she acknowledges the fact that Joffrey is a fucking bastard,
Yeah.
and nobody will begrudge you for not loving him, but you gotta love those children. That's just the business.
Yeah. That's Cersei. She's like, just don't love anybody but your children, And I thought that was interesting that she would tell Sansa that she, in a way, kind of cares for Sansa, but at the same time, she just, gonna still continue to be a bitch to her or
Uh-huh.
whatever.
Yeah. Now we cut on to Koth and Lord Doxus and Danny. They're having a little exchange. Now, back last week we were talking about, hey, maybe this nigga had something to do with it. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right.
And they're talking about just that. She's like, hey, maybe you had something to do with it. You one of the 13. Let's go. And so she's not trusting anybody at this point. So it's understandable. I really do feel for her little situation with the dragons and stuff. And she does think of them like children, and she is in a city that is closed off from everything else. There's nowhere to run, and but she does meet up with Jorah, and Jorah comes back from finding ships. Now, last week I was like, I don't know where he at, but I didn't know that he left immediately to go find ships.
Yeah, me neither. Me neither. I'm glad they brought that up.
Something they talked about. I thought they talked about, like, yeah, this one way we could do it, or this two ways. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't know he left like, boom, I'm gonna find him right now. So now we know where Jorah's at. He comes back soon as possible. That little exchange was, um, I don't know. It was a little tension. She was kind of picking up on the vibe. Like, he went to go put his hand on her shoulder, and she was like, "You getting too familiar, nigga. You getting a little too familiar.
Yeah.
Get familiar."
She's starting to realize that, yeah, I know you got feelings for me, but you're gonna have to back off, motherfucker.
Yeah, yeah. Now, she's already tense about the dragon situation, so I can understand. But at the end of the day, when Jorah came through that door, she was happy.
Yeah.
She was like, "Oh, you came back," and I was like, "Yeah." Even though you think or you don't know exactly who's on your side, I think he's on your side because he had something to make up for being one of the people. He betrayed the Targaryens, right?
I believe so. Yeah. I mean, he could have left her right there and there. Just say, "Fuck it, you on your own now, bitch." But
He's gonna make up for that,
right.
And I thought that was pretty, admirable. And she said, "Hey," he was like, "Hey, what you need me to do?" She was like, "Find my dragons." Done, done.
Right.
Now he does meet up with the woman with the mask. And I don't know what she does. If somebody could say what she does, also I forgot her name because I haven't seen her, only seen her one time. So put that in there. But she putting like this war paint on people, or with blood, like the blood of like a goat or something like that, like
I guess
taking it
that's how
out.
they did tattoos back in the day.
Hey, whatever, do what you gotta do. But she actually tips him off on who has the dragons. So I don't know who her character is, but she seems to know a lot about a lot that goes on. And she also seems to know Jorah, and Jorah is trying to look through the mask, to like squinting and looking at the mask to see if he can see who's under it. I'm very interested in who she is.
Me too.
So, it's very interesting. But lo and behold, we find out that that's your boy Doxus, Lord Doxus. Oh yeah, he had something to do with it. You want to go in on that?
Yeah, he has something to do with it, and he's pretty much talking to the council, and he pretty much also the guy with the who can use magic. I forget his name. The character Quan Chi
He's
with
a
the
he's a
motherfucker.
wizard. Yeah, Quan Chi.
He
Yeah,
pretty much is like, yeah, I had something to do with the deal too, and they pretty much is like, they were talking back and forth, and they just came out of nowhere, like copies of himself, like shadow copies or whatever you want to call them, and just killed the whole council.
Shadow Clone Jutsu.
Mm. Came out of nowhere and just killed the council, and it turns out that this dude apparently can use real magic. It's not just a twin
Yes.
or some shit like that. He can use real magic because somebody came up, Jorah came up behind him with the sword and stabbed him. And he just was like disappeared. So he knows real magic. So
Yeah, I was like, man, like, do they? Oh, is somebody tripping balls here? It's like this an illusion that they drugged somebody, and she's looking around like, what the fuck? Like I was thinking, like this is real magic here. I'm loving it. I'm loving it.
me
I
too.
gotta say, it was good stuff. It was good stuff.
But she pretty much doesn't trust them, and they just kind of run away from them too.
Yeah, I mean, where to? I mean, keep it 100. Where are you gonna run to?
That's true.
And the run Dothraki guy that you got left, he ain't doing shit. They finna kill him.
Yeah, they about to go
I'm,
up in that ass, tear this
I'm
motherfucker
surprised
up.
he ain't die. You know, I'm surprised they ain't kill him yet. And also, they devised this whole plan to get the dragons, to get Daenerys on their side, and then they kill all her people, so she has nothing left to fall back on. And the only reason why Jorah and the handful of Dothraki that he took with him to go find ships weren't killed is because they weren't there.
Yeah.
I don't know. That was sloppy on their part, because they knew that they was gonna come back and be allowed back into the city. That's logistically. I was like, huh. You know, if you knew that was gonna be a problem and Jorah was coming back, logically you would have caught his ass at the door, and that would have been a wrap.
Yeah, that was, yeah, I can see your point with that one. Yeah, that was weird.
Especially if you plan to kill all of the 13. Well, just kill 11 of them. You know what I'm saying? So that's a problem right there. But whatever. It's good stuff. I'm interested to see where it goes. I really interested in that character that seems to knows all or something. I don't know. Yeah, the mask is creepy. I was looking at it and I couldn't stop looking. So yeah, it's kind of creepy. Yeah, good stuff. But hey, let's move on to your boy Rob.
Yeah.
And Rob, he finally gets word back from the messenger he sent to King's Landing, which is a Lannister. But so they thought, logically they probably wouldn't kill him straight off jump because he's a Lannister. That's the only reason why he was allowed in and allowed out. But anyway, he comes back and he tells, Rob finally of what Cersei done to the letter. She ripped it up. We all know that. But I would like one of you guys, if possible, tell us the time frame of when he left and when he came back. Like, cause I need to know it's saying the time skips are kind of wonky. So if one of you guys could clear up how much time has passed from what time to what, that would be awesome. That would kind of put it in perspective, because I completely forgot about the dude, and I thought they sent the Raven or something to tell him what happened. I don't know, but he came back. That was interesting to see that Rob actually didn't kill the little bastard. Like, you know what I'm saying? By all, the rules of war, you should be killing him. He a Lannister.
Yeah,
But
that's kind of Rob's. He's starting to fuck up a little bit in two ways I've seen. One is, showing mercy to people like that, which, that's kind of part of his character. He's got that Ned Stark blood in him, so he got that honor running through his blood like crazy. But still, that's kind of a weakness in war. And then with the chick, um, he's starting to fall for her, and he's starting to get distracted by her, like we said before. And I don't know. I get the feeling that's gonna just fuck him up real bad because he's been on a winning streak so far, but Tywin is starting to up his game a little bit. Now he's pissed off and shit, so Rob gonna have to start hardening up. As much as I hate to say it, but that's gonna have to happen.
And he does talk to Lisa.
Yeah, to
This
Lisa.
episode, and she needs some supplies. So she's saying, well, I need these supplies from this Meister when you go to this particular village, and he's like, hey, you can ride with us. You know what I'm saying? Trying to, I guess they can keep each other company. So that was his way of getting her in.
Yeah, he trying to tap that ass,
Yeah, or just getting to know her a little bit better. You know what I'm saying? And he respects her cause, even though they're treating the enemies as well. Which, like, come on, that's unheard of. Fuck them.
That's what I'm saying. Like he need to harden up. Like, come on, Rob.
Man, look, you wasting supplies. You wasting food, cause why keep them alive if you ain't gonna feed them? You wasting water, resources, guards. Only keep the important people.
Right.
Only keep the important Lannisters. Anybody else, fuck them. And he's really, he's keeping too much on his plate, man. They expendable. Fuck them.
That's what I'm saying. He needs to step his game. You got to step your game on Rob Stark. Step it up, motherfucker.
Let's go back to Theon, right?
Yeah.
Now, Theon, he goes to the house that Osha and Bran and all of them were looking at. Rickon actually said, hey, I know that the kid's there. You know what I'm saying? What are they, like, orphans of Winterfell or something like that?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. So, I believe that when Bran was, doing his kingly thing, and Maester Luwin was next to him, and the guy came in and said, hey, we need some help. So he said, you could take 2 of the orphan boys. You know what I'm saying? And he said, as long as you give them room and board. So that was that house, I believe. Now, there were 2 orphan boys there. Now, Theon goes in and proceeds to beat the man of the house. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it was interesting because, well, not really interesting, but we know that Osha, she said, hey, we're going to bypass this place completely because we can't afford to go there and have them, be hurt for us. So we bypass them straight off jump. Now, Theon goes there, he's basically, they basically skipped on. You know what I'm saying? The walnuts, him filing the walnuts and stuff, that was, like, I would say that was just to throw him off. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because they bypassed that point. They never went there. They might have, stopped by or went past there or threw some walnuts or whatever. But I don't think they went past that location other than to just go straight past it. They didn't stop there. You know what I'm saying? That's my belief. You know what I'm saying? And like Thin Man, he basically says to Maester Luwin that, hey, he's basically doing it for acceptance. You know what I'm saying? He'll never be able to go to his father again and blah, 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 and this, that, and the other. And, he's
trying to please his father, and, you got the dude that's trying to, kind of egg him up. It's like, you got to step your game up. You got to. So he's under pressure, but at the same time, fuck Theon, man. Like, seriously.
Yeah, fuck him. He can eat all kinds of dicks. All kinds. Shit. So it's I don't know. It was it's fucking ridiculous. Now, hey, let's cut on to Jamie. Now, Jamie's relative is, Jamie and his relative is talking about the past, and the Lannisters got a big family, so Jamie's like, "Who are you again? Who's your mother?" Like, like he knows he's a Lannister, but there are different tiers of Lannister.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He not top tier. That guy was like low tier. So, they talking a little bit, and I will say, Jamie is surprisingly charming for a murderous bastard, I have to say.
Yeah, because I was
Mm,
convinced by his speech. He was talking the boy up. Seemed like him and the boy are gonna kind of get a plan together to try to get out. But he's like, you got to do one thing for me. It's real easy, and I promise you,
mhm.
it's gonna be real easy. He's like, gets up in his ear, whispers. He's like, you just gotta die, and he just proceeds to beat the shit out of him and kill him. I
I
was
was
like,
like, you heard every crunch.
yeah.
I was like, oh God, that looked like it hurt. You just got knocked the fuck out. He was twitching and shit. Man, that was just ridiculous. And Jamie and Kat's conversation,
Mhm.
because he eventually does get free, and
Yeah.
they catch
They catch that
very
motherfucker. Yeah,
quickly.
like, yeah, we got you clean, Kingslayer. We got you right back.
Yeah, and I was like, come on, man, that can't happen while Rob is gone. This cannot happen, and it didn't. Luckily that didn't happen. Maybe it happened different in the books. Who knows? Well, you guys know, but we don't know. But Jamie and Kat's conversation, and Jamie, he continues and continues to, number one, he don't give a fuck at this point. He's saying, yeah, the only person I ever had was Cersei, admitting the incest. He already admitted he pushed Bran off of the ledge.
Mhm.
He's unapologetic for who he is,
Yeah.
which on some level I respect
You
it.
gotta respect
But
that gangster a little bit, just a
yeah,
little bit.
but he is a bastard, so
Yes.
yeah, I gotta say I don't know. But Kat, she was really holding it down in there. She was really holding it down.
And the way the shit he was saying to Brienne, he's like, "Is that a monster? Like, what? Who is this?" I was like, "Yo."
Monster, nah, man. And
But
hey, I mean, on the real, I was looking at it like, yeah, I can see that. I can see that. She does look like a monster, like a big leviathan or something. I don't know.
the
No.
shit that he was saying about Ned, to the way he played Cat, I was like, he,
Yeah.
that's true. And she was like, that boy Jon Snow, that bastard son of Ned Stark. I mean,
Mhm.
yeah, he's not so honorable, is he? Your husband.
Yeah.
Basically saying that he's really no different from me. I thought that
Mhm.
was really interesting. And she was like, Brienne, take that sword out, and we didn't see what happened after that. That motherfucker is pretty much dead. I was like, oh, he about to die. That's it for him.
Now, as if Cat could actually hold that big motherfucker, I would like to see her swing that bitch, cause I
I
know
think
it
she gonna get Brienne to do that.
probably so,
Yeah.
probably so. Um, you know, but she, it'll be an uproar if she takes that pleasure from one of the, other people that want to kill him. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You take that, you can't take that from them. You know what I'm saying? Because you doing what you told them not to do. It needs to be some sort of everybody wants a piece of that. You know?
Yeah, they need
Um,
to get somebody in there to control that, cause your boy's about to be gone.
that's a rap, Scully. Hey, hey. You know what? We gonna go in. This is our last point. I can't believe we got through this fast. And yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen, this is fast for the amount of shit that was in this episode, and we
Yes.
ain't even touch it all. We didn't even touch. You know what I'm saying? So okay, to the end. Set up the last scene, man. Go ahead and do this. Let's go.
Basically, Grandmaster Meister
Lewin.
Lewin, excuse me, comes in there, the crowd and everything, and then Theon is pretty much making his speech. He's like, I said I would do this for you if you're loyal to me, and if you're not, I said I would do this to you. And then all of a sudden, we see in the background two little boys hanged up, or children burned,
Charred bodies.
charred bodies.
One of them is burned so bad that the meat got so tender that the arm fell off.
Yeah.
And even Theon, when he looked at it, was shook.
Yeah, he was like, "Oh my God, what the fuck have I let these people do?
Exactly.
If Robb Stark
Exactly.
get a hold of me, I am so fucked."
And again, like, um, Who is the guy? All right, the guy from the Iron Islands. You know, the one that basically, is telling him what to do or how to earn the respect of the people. You know what I'm talking about? His
Yeah,
right
right,
hand or
right,
whatever.
exactly.
He just seemed so fucking evil. He was happy and smiling and loved the anguish of these people. And I don't see how anybody could ever see their side of the story. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, how could anybody ever take sides with them on how they act? They're pirates. They have no honor. You know what I'm saying? I understand how you had to get down back in the day, and that happened to be how they got down as opposed to how somebody else got down. But, you know, I really hate the Iron Island people now.
I
I
do
really
too. Like, if I was Theon, I would have never trusted my father again. I don't give a shit. Like, fuck it. You gave me away anyway.
there was no one there that that I liked their character. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So fuck them. Whatever. Oh, let's go ahead to some predictions. Now, number one, judging from earlier in the episode when we first got on, OSHA said, hey, we not going there. And Rickon said, there are two orphan boys there. So, this is what I think happened. And nobody, just let us unravel with the episodes as they come. Next episode, number one, I don't think that was Rickon and
Oh no,
Brian.
I definitely don't think that.
Come on, I think that was the two orphan boys from that he sent to that house earlier.
Exactly.
But you still killed two children, so what the fuck? And then on top of that, um, he just wanted to show Meister Lewin that he did that. Meister Lewin doesn't know that they're not Bran and Rickon. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But the fact that they didn't show anybody, Hogo, OSHA, the dire wolves, none of that. The fact that they didn't show anybody for the rest of the episode through that whole scene, that elaborate ruse that they showed, already tells you logically that that's not Bran and Rickon. That's just me though. I might be wrong. I don't think I am, but hey, whatever.
I agree with that.
Yeah. So yeah, this was a great episode. You know, the man without honor, and let's guess who the fuck that is.
Yeah.
Let's guess who the man without honor is. Let's
There's a
go.
lot of
You
fucking
wanna?
people in that damn show.
Hey, but you know what was first on my list? Theon, you bitch nigga.
Yeah. Damn.
You bitch nigga. And kind of Jaime Lannister, but Theon is definitely at the top, man. Definitely at the top.
Yeah.
I understand his position of he was the ward, but let's be honest, anybody defending that position, he was never one of their people. He was a captive. Bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Bullshit. You had more brotherly people or family there.
And I'm pretty sure Rob would have gave him a good position, man. Dumb idiot.
You had more people that would have your back in a fight, that would help you when you were down at Winterfell than you ever will have at your Iron Islands. So bullshit to that whole point of, oh, he was a ward, he could kill him. Why does people think that he shouldn't go against the Starks? Like, no.
Some bonds
Fuck.
run thicker than blood.
Exactly.
Shit.
Exactly. That's what I think.
Shit.
And whatever, man. They once again, Theon, he can and will soon eat a dick. Okay, there you go.
For real. That's how I feel about it.
Yeah. So yeah, this is Rodney 3-3. Holla at your boy.
Your boy Ziploc Gory. See y'all next week.
Man, we will see y'all next week. Hey, this was great, man. This was a great episode.
For sure.
Yeah. Peace.